All right, hey guys, and welcome to Taking Flight with Rocket. I'm back with you here, Mike Rocket Blackstone. We're going to cut right to it. We're going to be talking about the Chinese spy balloon that was covered just a couple days ago as this thing was shot down by our F-22. I got the BBC piece up on my laptop, and I'm going to share it with you now. We're going to give you a little commentary. Here we go. All right. Okay.
Floating across parts of the United States has been shot down by an American fighter jet off the coast of South Carolina. The balloon, which the US says was being used to spy on military sites, appeared to plummet into the sea. Well, China continues to insist that it was in fact a stray civilian weather observation airship. Its foreign ministry has released a statement saying that China strongly disapproves of and protests against the US attack on a civilian unmanned airship.
Check this out. So the Chinese are talking about this civilian unmanned airship, apparently a weather balloon, they're calling it. Clearly, we all know that it's not that, and this was obviously a military operation testing America's resolve. And a huge balloon. We're not talking about a hot air balloon that you see flying over French Valley on a weekend here. This thing is a massive, massive balloon, several 100 feet from what I understand across, and carrying a payload in excess of like 2,000-pound thing hanging underneath it. The piece of that's driving underneath it. So not only is it massive, it seems to be self-powered. And what is it? What equipment is it carrying on board? And we're going to find out as they fish this thing out of the ocean. So we shot it down off the coast of South Carolina by an F-22, our first air-to-air kill by a U.S. fighter over U.S. soil. This is a big deal. This is a huge, huge event here.
By force. It also went on to say that American use of force is a clear overreaction and a serious violation of international practice. The BBC's Tim Ullman has the report.
All eyes had been on this solitary object floating serenely through US airspace. Was it a harmless?
Okay, so it's floating serenely through U.S. airspace. This thing has drifted across the entire North American continent, photographing, we think, it's been photographing because it happened to swing by some of our U.S. military assets of high military value near Montana, where apparently our weapons silos are there. How did this thing navigate to our silo accidentally as it serenely drifts over the North American continent? Yeah, I'm not buying it. And is it powered by some sort of electric motors like a drone, or is it powered by some other little propellers or something like that? So clearly this thing has the ability to steer, and it's moving at around 100 knots. So thinking about this for just a few seconds here is not only is this thing able to steer itself and carry a very large payload, it poses a huge threat to American national security for several reasons we will discuss here in a minute. But the first thing is here it is, apparently flying at some 60,000 feet. Apparently some airline pilots, as in my other job in my other life, I fly jets at 40,000 feet. 35 to 40,000 feet, and to see this thing floating high above you, you're wondering, what's that doing here? And these guys reported it, and what's it doing over America? So you say, hey, what's this thing doing? And no one knows what it is, and then you start to find out it's Chinese, and then you start to find out it's over military targets, and it's flying at some 60,000 feet. So how high exactly is 60,000 feet in terms of miles? So let's ask Suri. Hey Suri. How many miles is 60,000 feet?
Okay. I found this on the web for how many feet is 60, how many miles is 60,000 feet. Check it out.
Sorry. Hey, Siri, how many miles is 60,000 feet?
60,000 feet is 11.36 miles.
So 11.36 miles above the Earth, above the United States country, over a very, very security-sensitive military site. 11.3 miles above that is a Chinese military device, most likely some sort of a camera videoing our military capability from 11 miles away. Now, some people have asked me, or mentioned, hey, you know what? There are spy satellites that fly over the United States all the time. How fast does a spy satellite need to fly in order to stay in orbit? Let's ask Suri. Hey, Suri, what is orbital velocity in miles per hour?
Here's what I found from NASA Gov. Orbital velocity is the speed needed to stay in orbit at an altitude of 150 miles, 242 kilometers above Earth. Orbital velocity is about 17,000 miles per hour.
Okay, so from 150 miles up, 150 miles, not 150,000 feet, but 150 miles up, a spacecraft needs to fly at 17,000 miles an hour in order to stay there. So, hey, Suri, how many feet per second is 17,000 miles per hour?
17,000 miles per hour is 24,933.33 feet per second.
Oh my God. So imagine the speed of a satellite moving across the surface of the United States. How many seconds does it have to snap any photos at all from 150 miles up at that ludicrous speed of 20,000 feet per second or something crazy thing? It's literally doing like 100 miles per minute, just crazy. So hey, Suri, how many miles per minute is 17,000 miles per hour?
Okay, I found this on the web. For how many miles per minute is 17,000 miles per hour? Check it out.
Sorry, let's do it this way. Hey, Suri, let's take 17,000 miles per hour and divide by 60.
Sorry, I didn't get that. Could you restate the question?
Let's do the math. Hey, Suri, what is 17,000 divided by 60? There you go.
17,000 divided by 60 is approximately 283.3333.
283 feet per minute. Miles per hour per minute. So, yeah, 283 miles per minute. Like almost 300 miles per minute. That's how fast this thing's moving. So there you are with your camera from 150 miles up trying to shoot a picture of anything over the surface of the Earth at 280 miles per minute. That's insane. When I fly the jet, we're doing 500 or 600 miles per hour. That's almost 10 miles a minute. So that's at lower altitudes in the 30 and 40,000 foot range from 150 miles up. Imagine what kind of camera you'd need to take a picture from 150 miles away and doing 283 miles per minute. It's insane. So having this thing putting along at 100 miles per hour over very sensitive military targets is extremely concerning. And to call it some unmanned, serenely floating weather balloon is just garbage. So here we go.
Harmless weather balloon or a spy in the sky sent by the Chinese. Whatever it was, the American government had decided enough was enough. Look at that trail of white vapour on the left of your screen. That is a US F-22 fighter jet streaking towards the balloon. Then a second trail, this time from a Sidewinder missile, about to bring its journey to an abrupt end.
Suddenly we saw something take off from the jet and knew it was a missile. And you could see the explosion. Didn't hear anything, but saw the explosion of the balloon.
Gosh, it was almost like a moving cloud coming down.
All right, so
then the smoke was gone, and it just started slow.
They went ahead and left this thing to go over the entire United States, and it drifted out off of the coast of South Carolina and shot it down over the water for safety reasons. And the damage had already been done by then. So if this thing was transmitting any data at all, it had already sent it back to China. So now we're just talking about hardware. What's this hardware worth versus what is the hardware of a spy satellite or a SR-71 type machine that needed to fly over the United States and outrun missiles if it got caught over the United States. So this thing was just literally the least expensive, slowest moving, best video capability from the lowest altitude possible. And if we shoot it down, the least amount of money to be thrown away into the ocean. I find this to be highly disturbing. Who agrees with me? Hopefully you've found some interest in this particular piece. We're going to keep covering this thing as it goes on, as we fish this thing out of the ocean and we find out really what was on board. and what did the Chinese actually intended to do with that data. So if you liked what you see here, please press this, click the subscribe button, hit the like button if you liked it, and we'll continue making more content just like this here at Taking Flight with Rocket. See you next time.